So these are the more difficult questions on finding the equation of a circle. So like it can be given to you in a graph form, like the one we just have here. So where it's not really straightforward, the radius isn't very straightforward and the centre of the circle isn't very straightforward. They might give you the points of the diameter. Or they could give you a question where they give you the centre of a circle and tell you where it passes through, a point that it passes through. Again, it's not really clear, the radius and therefore the equation. So we'll start with this one here. So find the equation of the circle that has a diameter from A to B. So it's marked on our graph here. So from A to B is our diameter. So what we know about the diameter, so we know that the diameter is equal to a half of the radius. And what we should remember, equation of the circle, you know you need your centre, you know you need your radius, and you know that you're filling into the formula that's in your log tables. So centre is our HK, radius is our R, and our formula is there. So if we found the distance of the diameter, so the distance from A to B, if we half that distance, then we know that's our radius. So we'll do that. So we'll find the distance of AB, which is the diameter, and A is -4 minus 2, and B is 6, 0. So it's our coordinate geometry. You label your points, you write your formula, and you fill into your formula. So we're going to have 6 minus -4 all squared plus 0 minus -2 all squared. Square root of 6 plus 4, because 2 minuses make a plus, and just like here, minus minus gives us plus 2 all squared. So we'll have the square root of 10 squared plus 2 squared. Square root of 10 squared is 100, 2 squared is 4, so it's going to be the square root of 104. So we know the diameter is equal to root 104, where we put in our calculator is actually 2 root 26. So what did we say about the radius earlier? We said that the diameter was equal to, is 2 radiuses. So if we want to find the radius, we'll just half the diameter. So to find the radius, we multiply the diameter by a half, and that will give us root 26. So our radius is equal to root 26. That's the first piece of information we have. So now we need to find the centre. So if we look at the graph here, so again, from looking at it, some of you might find it straightforward to see where the centre is, and some of you might be too sure. You might get more difficult equations where there's no actual grid on the graph. It's just gives you A and B, but doesn't tell you any of the other numbers. So you need to be able to do it this way as well. We know that the centre of this graph from A to B, another word for the centre would be midpoint. We need to find the middle value. We know that the midpoint of A and B will give us the centre of A and B, because the diameter goes through the centre. You have to remember that. The diameter will always go through the centre. So if we find the midpoint of AB, that would actually give us our centre. So, again, coordinate geometry. So write out your points. So -4 minus 2. B is 6, 0. So label your points, x1, y1, x2, y2, and fill into your formula. So we're going to have x1, y1. So we'll have -4 plus 6. Sorry, x1 on x2 all over 2, comma y1 is -2 plus y2 is 0 all over 2, which is equal to 2 over 2 and -2 over 2, which is equal to 1 minus 1. If we look back at the graph, we did actually mark it in the right spot anyway. So it was quite straightforward seeing that graph, but it won't, as I said, it won't always be. So we know that our centre, so we'll just write this, so centre is equal to 1 minus 1. And we'll highlight that as well so it stands out. So the question they asked us, always go back to see what did they ask me. They asked me to find the equation of the circle. So if I want to find the equation of the circle, I need to fill it into my formula. So x minus h all squared plus y minus k all squared equals r squared. So we know that r is going to be root 26. We know that h is 1 and k is minus 1. So it's going to be, I'll just do it down here, x minus 1 squared plus y minus minus 1, because k is minus 1, all squared equals, root 26 all squared. So the x minus 1 all squared plus y plus 1 all squared equals the square root, gets rid of the square root, so 26. So your equation of that circle that they've given you is x minus 1 all squared plus y plus 1 all squared equals 26. For the question down here, so find the equation of the circle with the centre minus 3, 4 that passes through the point 3, 4. Right, it's difficult straight off because they've no graph there, so you've no kind of visual to see what you're actually looking for. So I can't recommend it enough. You have to start drawing your circles if they give you a question like this. It doesn't have to be perfect, just freehand. If you draw your axis, so minus 4, 3 is the centre, so minus 4, 3, so we'll just pretend it's somewhere like here, and then 3, 4. So 3, 4, something like that. Of course, it's not going to look perfect. Just try, you know that they said that this point here was your centre, and this was a point on the circle. So your circle's going to go around something like this and kind of off the page. So the centre to any point in the circle, you know from that centre to this point 3, 4. And you should be all familiar with that or know what I'm talking about. The centre to any point in the circle is a radius. So if you find the distance from my points minus 4, 3 to 3, 4, that would give you the radius. Because you have to remember, what are they asking me? They asked me for the equation of the circle. You know you need your centre, you know you need your radius. You have your centre, you need to find your radius, and you fill into your formula. So how do we go about finding the radius? So the distance from that centre point to that point in the circle is going to be our radius. So we'll have x2 minus x1 all squared plus y2 minus y1 all squared. Square root. So let's label our points. So we call it x1, y1, x2, y2. So x2 is going to be 3 minus minus 4 all squared plus 4 minus 3 all squared. It's going to be the square root of 3 minus minus gives us plus, so 3 plus 4 is 7 squared. Plus 4 minus 3 is 1 squared. So that's going to be the square root of 49 plus 1, which is root 50. So we know that the radius is equal to root 50. We know that the centre is equal to minus 4, 3. So therefore we can find the equation of this circle, because we know our formula is x minus h all squared plus y minus k all squared equals r squared. This is our h, this is our k, this is our r, so we'll have x minus minus 4 all squared plus y minus 3 all squared equals square root of 50 all squared. Just tidy it up, it'll be x minus minus gives us a plus y minus 3 all squared equals square, get rid of the square root, so 50. So the equation of that problem is x plus 4 all squared plus y minus 3 all squared equals 50. Just for them ones, remember to draw them.